Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. And guys, we back. We back again. I see Brad, you got all spruced up for today's episode. I like it. I like it. Me personally, I'm the usual. Got my wife beat on, and I'm ready to go to work, man. And I know you say it's a controversy. Perhaps these days, people say wife beater. Well,
I don't know if it's a controversy. I just said, is that the term that we'll still call it in 2021? Will 2021
why not?
accept
Why
it?
not? Why not?
I don't know, because you know people. That's why you know people.
What else are we going to call it? I mean, this is not like the Redskins, all right? This is not like the Braves. Sure. You know what I mean?
The Indians.
Come on. The Indians. The Cleveland. This is the wife beater. This is something that's been around for many years. And it's called the wife beater for a reason.
And I think the reason is the thing that could be the source of the problem. The wife beater.
We got a lot to talk about today. WrestleMania Backlash going down this weekend, as well as UFC 262 will be taking place as well. Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather, that thing there is on the rise, and it's getting heated, man. I don't know if you saw the presser, man, but Floyd was hot, and Floyd got him a little afro going on too.
I know.
So
Floyd looked different, didn't he?
He looked totally different. I mean, I thought he looked like, it was this dude used to play on he's a wino on Good Times. I think his name was Ned the Wino. That's who Floyd Mayweather looked like at the presser.
That's funny.
Nah, man,
that's funny. That's messed up, but it's funny.
He did not look like the Floyd Mayweather we used to see it. All right, I'm talking about flashy, right. All that. I mean, he looked. Did he have some overalls on or what? I mean, what?
He looked a little odd. He looked like he might have been related to. Do you remember the Floyd Manny Pacquiao fight where they had that picture of Denzel looking like somebody's uncle? They look like their family now.
I don't know. The age catch up with you quick, dog. You know what I mean?
He didn't look like Money Mayweather.
He didn't look like Money.
No.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't look like Money, and then he got real hot. He got real heated. But that right there, that's what we got to talk about. What?
You saw the thing with him and Jake, right?
Yeah. I mean, the hat. You know what I mean? I got your hat. I got your hat. I got your hat. It was almost like some kids in the cafeteria, and the security guard trying to break them up. It was something. We got to talk about that. We'll talk about that. We got a special guest going to be stepping inside the Hall of Fame at the bottom of the hour. Chelsea Mean Machine Green will be What you like that name, don't you?
Yeah, I got you. Like Mean Joe Green, right?
Yeah. No, it used to be this three-wheeler back in the day when I grew up. It wasn't a tricycle. It was green, and it was called the Mean Machine. You know what I mean? So Chelsea, the Mean Green Machine. You know what I mean? How you like that? How you like it?
That's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe she'll take it.
She might want to try to, get that trademark since she got booted off her podcast. You know what I mean? As far as copyright infringement. I'm trying to help her out. But she will be stepping inside the Hall of Fame here at the bottom of Chelsea. Definitely put them inside the comments. Hey, we appreciate you guys for being here as well. Let us know where you're from, as always. And one piece of news we're going to be talking about. You know what? We might as well talk about it, right off the bat. And get this thing kicked off, hot and spicy. We know what the internet likes. So why not give it to them? Is Kurt Angle AEW bound? That's the question.
Yeah, I've seen rumors on the internet about Kurt Angle's, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
He's a free agent. And it seems as though, with the exception of Bruce Pritchard, everybody who does a podcast with our friend Conrad ends up over there in AEW. It's like a direct pipeline. But I think that Kurt, the thing is, Kurt Angle, and I'll say this, is too talented and knows too much about the in-ring work in professional wrestling to not be employed by a major company.
Yeah. I feel that way too, but I mean, the thing is, do Kurt Angle want to, put the boots back on? Do Kurt Angle want to get in the ring? Is Kurt thinking about, lacing them up? That's my question. You know what I mean? Kurt say he got a text message from Shaquille O'Neal and Shaq say, hey, man, you need to get on over here. There's a whole lot of paper, baby. You better get some of it. What do you think about Kurt Angle perhaps stepping back in the ring, from a performer side?
I mean, look, the nostalgia fan in me, I always want to see Kurt Angle in a wrestling ring. But at the same time, like when I saw him in WWE for his last run, I mean, I think that he would even admit to this. So I don't even feel like I'm speaking out of turn. He wasn't the Kurt Angle that I remember in his prime or even in the TNA years. Injuries. The guy broke his neck in the Olympics, right? Eventually that's going to catch up to you, right? So I don't have a major interest in seeing him in an in-ring capacity. And here's the other thing. I remember hearing Flair. Flair said, I got beat at WrestleMania for my retirement match looking up at the lights to a sold-out stadium. You don't get much better than that. And then I went to TNA and I got back in the ring and I regretted it, right? And I just don't want Kurt to have a similar experience. Kurt went out, WrestleMania 35, sold out, New York City, put the young guy over in front of all the people. I mean, isn't that the way that you want to go out?
Kurt always say that's not the way he wanted to go out.
Well, I mean, I think he said the opponent.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
But the opponent he wanted was John Cena. And John Cena's not in AEW. So it's not like, wait, so you want to trade in Baron Corbin for who?
No, but the thing is, Kurt Angle is not one, shy, about jumping ship. Okay?
No, he's not.
Done it before. I mean,
right.
he's left and he went to TNA and he was, I think he was in TNA perhaps longer
he was.
than he was in WWE. Am I mistaken on that?
No, you're 100% correct.
Okay, so I don't think Kurt Angle has an allegiance to, finishing that match, just with that one opponent, but, being able to walk away from it, the way he want to walk away from it, with perhaps another match with another guy, Darby Allin. You never know. I'm just saying. But I don't think Kurt Angle is, far from, hooking up with, AEW and, having their one more run. I mean, they're to be WWE, TNA, now AEW. That's three companies, Kurt Angle would have spent time with and more importantly, got a paycheck from. And at the end of the day, I think that's what it's all about. Now, Kurt Angle could go over and perhaps be an agent, and work backstage, produce. But me personally, I don't think that's what Kurt Angle's, heart is as far as being able to want to go out there and, do that job. He could have did that in WWE, I think. You remember he had the opportunity to manage, who was it?
I don't remember. Well, he had the angle with Jason Jordan.
No, not Jason Jordan. I think they just asked him not too long ago to manage somebody who was in NXT that was coming up. I can't remember who it was, but he turned that down. He turned that down as well. That wasn't something that Kurt Angle wanted to do. So I just can't see Kurt Angle in that capacity working backstage, with a clipboard, being one of those guys that's, I just can't see it. I know how that job is. I know what it does to you as well. You grow old really, really quick, with that job. So I just can't see Kurt Angle with that responsibility.
I was going to say he needs to get that Paul White contract. Get that Paul White money. You know what I mean? Call some matches on YouTube. Get paid to wrestle maybe once in a blue moon, but stay home most of the time and relax with the kids. Kurt's got a lot of kids, doesn't he? Doesn't he have several kids?
Yeah, he got a bunch of kids, but I don't put that out there like that. But no, he got kids. Some of them
he's got a bunch of kids.
No, some of them are a little older now, man, because you don't realize how time flies. So the kids that he had with his first marriage, they're a little older now, and I think, he's remarried and I think he's got a couple of more little ones. So yeah, man, so being at home is very important. Trust me. I know. That's why I'm at home right now. Forget about putting the boots on, man. I ain't doing it. Hey, guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows.
From up top, 1-2 moonsault!
Where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up!
Complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. Two more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Hey, man, Reality of Wrestling, guys. You want to be a part of Reality of Wrestling? My school, my gym, my creation. The best thing going here on the Gulf Coast, Reality of Wrestling. And I really, honestly, truly believe that, guys. You want to be a part of Reality of Wrestling, come on down this weekend. We got a big show that we're going to be doing. Actually, I got to get on the road because we do have the pay-per-view Wrestlemania Backlash. So I got to get on the road. But my guy, Kevin Bernhardt, will be on doing the job, as well as Brad Gilmore. They will be doing the job. The boys and girls of Reality Wrestling, they will be doing the job.
Look, I do the job for nobody. All right, I want to go over in the main event. I'm not looking up at the lights.
You're doing the job. So guys, come on out. I was down at the school last night. I'm going to post a picture. Two guys that's at my school right now, all the way from Africa, all the way from the bush. They come all the way to Reality Wrestling to learn the trade, to learn the game. The Dungle Brothers, the next Harlem Heat. I really think
that's high praise. You want to put that on somebody?
With me putting the work in with these two guys. One of them is power and the other is glory. And it's going to be a sight to see, the Dungle Brothers. And the thing is, you thought Harlem Heat was two big guys. I'm going to post this picture. The Dungle Brothers, the next big tag. And the thing is, these guys, they're not going to be coming in like Joe and Schmo, and we just put them together and they become a tag team. No, it's not going to be like that. The Dungo Brothers, they're going to come in as a tag team from the beginning, go all the way through this thing as a tag team, finish it off as the greatest tag team that ever lived next to Harlem Heat. So guys, get ready for the Dungo Brothers.
Well, I'm ready. You can come out. I think there may be only a few tickets left for this limited seating crowd this weekend. So come on out.
If you see the Dungo Brothers.
You might see the Dungo Brothers.
If you come to Reality of Wrestling this weekend, guys, 10,000 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway.
A couple things, I guess, before, because I would like to talk about the pay-per-view and also Chelsea Green joining us here in a little bit. But we did have a $2 super chat from SMH, shaking my head. Wanted to know, what is the role of an agent in the back book? What does an agent do exactly?
Well, they pretty much, it's almost like a chain reaction, like type of deal. You got the guys up here that's working that's up top. and they're going over stuff, and then it filters down to somebody, and then it gets to the the agent, whatnot, and the agent have to deliver it to the guys that they're going to be working with, and then it's a lot of inner workings, where things may have to get run back up the ladder just to get approved, so it's just a whole lot going on when you're playing that role right there. I remember being on the road working at a house show way back in the day, and John Laurinaitis was the guy. He's still in charge. He's the guy there too. Yeah. It was something that we wanted to do on the road, and the producers say, hold on, let me, I got to make a phone call, to get that approved. And I'm like, come on, man, what I mean? We're just gonna do it. It's a house show, but it's like I understand. I understand where he was coming from. It's like Kevin Bernhardt at Reality of Wrestling. It's not one thing that he would just go out there and think about doing without giving me a call first and saying, hey, Book, what do you think about this? And that's what like kind of like a producer. Kevin probably got a whole lot more freedom, because he can fire people. What I mean? He can hire people.
Good power.
What I mean? So he got a little bit of stroke, but it's something like that, and it's really a job that I've seen a lot of guys have over the years, and they have grown disgruntled, complacent, bitter. It's a whole lot comes with, playing that role for many, many years.
Yeah. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't they also like responsible for not just doing the back and forth between the talent and the upper management, but also helping come up with ideas? I just saw Tyson Kidd did an interview where he talked about putting together all the women's matches for WrestleMania, right? So they kind of maybe come with a game plan to the talent, or the talent comes to them and they help, kind of like Pat Patterson. I always heard Pat Patterson was the best finish guy. Right? You go to Pat and you figure it out.
Then again, also a lot of responsibility fall on those guys.
Yeah.
If something happens in a match and it's screwed up, the first person they go to is the agent, and that guy is the one that's going to take all the heat for that match. Just to give you a little story, a friend of mine, Terry Taylor, he actually was an agent once upon a time in WWE, and he was only there in that agent's position for a very, very short time. There again, being an agent is not for everyone. And I remember Terry being my agent. He came up to me and he was like, man, I want you to go out here, do this tonight, and do this and do this and do this. And I looked at Terry and I go, Terry, let me tell you something right now. If I go out and do that tonight on television, you're going to get fired. Okay. I said, so I tell you what, I'm going to go out there and do all of my stuff, and you could take the credit. He goes, okay.
You're like, hey, just listen to me. I'm going to put you over, kid.
I'm going to make your job easy for you.
I'm going to get you a contract.
Save all of that stuff, okay? I'm going to go out here and do it, and you just, bask in the glory. You know what I mean? Take all the praise. And actually, he goes, okay.
Sounds, hey, Book, now that you mentioned it, sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. Oh, man. Yeah. Terry Taylor, I saw a match of his on the network. It must have been a couple months ago. Guy was damn good. Terry Taylor was really good. The Red Rooster thing is what people remember him for in WWE, which I think is unfortunate because it kind of overshadows, what he could actually do as a performer. What did you think of the Red Rooster?
No, man, Terry Taylor was a hell of a worker. Mid-South Wrestling, Terry Taylor was, he was one of the guys that he knew what he was doing. Mm-hmm. I always had high praise for Terry Taylor, other than Terry Taylor wanted to be Ric Flair. And I think
he did have a Ric Flair vibe.
I think that was Terry Taylor's downfall. I wouldn't say downfall, but I just think it was, everybody who wanted to be Ric Flair, they were swimming upstream. You know what I mean? Even the Nature Boy, Buddy Landell, went so far to call himself Nature Boy, get the robe, the hair, the walk, the woo, everything, just to, be a part of that. And I think all the guys that walked in those footsteps of, trying to have that air, of Ric Flair. I just think they were, just swimming upstream. Terry Taylor was a hell of a worker. He was a hell of a talent. Coming to WWE, of course, and becoming the Red Rooster. You never know what a Red Rooster, what the Red Rooster could have been. But this is my thing too. Okay, I always talk about wrestlers having a championship name. Okay, and the Red Rooster definitely was not a championship name. There again, he was just swimming upstream with a name like that. He was just fighting against all the odds, with a name like that, with a hairstyle like that, doing the cock-a-doodle-doo. It just was a hard.
I remember him doing the cock-a-doodle-doo, and he do his like that.
Yeah.
That
was just hard to.
That just sucks.
Let me tell you right now, I couldn't get that over.
Nobody could. You remember it was like 5-6 years ago when they were trying to get Cesaro over with having him yodel on the way to the ring. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, God, this sucks. There's just no way you can get that over.
It must have been watching La Familia.
Right, with the accordion.
Yeah, but the accordion is cool, man.
The accordion works. Yodeling, and especially, and poor Cesaro had to go out there and yodel when the man can't yodel. You know what I mean? Like, if you could yodel, maybe we have something.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
The Red freaking Rooster, man.
Red Rooster, man. Red Rooster. He had his moments. But there again, I think the Rooster definitely was the end game for Terry Taylor's wrestling career. I don't know how you can bounce back from that. It's hard to change. It's hard to change gimmicks after you've been the Red Rooster. You know what I mean? It's just hard to go, let's repackage him.
Well, you heard the story that he tells about how he got it, right?
How's that?
Well, he said he says that.
Yeah, 40 seconds.
He said that they were handing out gimmicks that day, and there was 2 gimmicks left, and one of them was Mr. Perfect, the other one was Red Rooster. And they decided last second to give Hennig the Mr. Perfect and him the Red Rooster.
Wait a minute, they were passing out gimmicks.
That's what he says. That's what Terry Taylor says. That's just what he says. They had, like, I guess, a box that they took them out of and handed them to people.
I don't. You know what? I don't believe that.
You shouldn't.
I don't believe that. No. That sounds fishy. Let's just say that. Hey man, stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer, and this is for all up-and-coming professional wrestlers, male and female. You want to know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts. You got a question, I got the answer. If you want to know how, join my masterclass. Go to realityofwrestling.com for all the information, starting on Thursday and every Thursday after that, guys. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. And I know you can dig that.
The Academy.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We just talking about what's going on. Chelsea Green will be stepping inside the Hall of Fame, guys, in less than 4 minutes. So let's get ready for some Chelsea Mean Machine Green. Yeah. How you like that name, man?
I mean, look, I think you should pitch it to her. The thing is, you have a history of giving people great names and them not taking it. Skipper Felix. So we got to see if Chelsea. What is
Skipper
it?
Felix. Skipper Felix. That was one of my best ones. The Skipper of Elix, opposed to Elix Skipper. The Skipper of Elix. Man, I could just see him going through the cosmos, man. I'm serious.
Championship name.
That's a championship name. When you think about it, That's a perfect example. Perfect example right there. But I got a lot for Chelsea. I got a lot for Chelsea. I wonder, what Chelsea Green is as far as, the career thing, this wrestling thing. It's like Public Enemy said back in the day, Base, how long can you go? That's what the business is about. How long can you go? How long can you last? How long can you weather the storm? Because there's always going to be bumps in the road, like Ox Baker told me back in the day. It's always going to be obstacles. You got to figure your way over, around, under. Sometimes you got to go through them, so I'm just wondering, what about you? I mean, we got any comments about Chelsea Green in the chat?
They're coming in, I mean, Justin Tyler Jimenez, Chelsea Green is awesome. We also have, this is from PJ, Chelsea would be very creative in her next endeavor. She's definitely worth her weight in gold. So comments coming in from Chelsea. Did you reference Public Enemy's Bring the Noise, and was it in the documentary? Did you have a promo where you said bass? I need that bass.
I think I did. Yeah. That's one of my favorite ones, man. I think I did. Yeah.
Chuck D has the best rap voice of all time.
Man, of course, man.
It's of all time.
Brother was
exactly what you want to sound like.
Definitely was one of a kind, man. He definitely made you, like I talk about wrestling all the time. He made you feel a certain way when you listen to his music. And then, he was one of the guys who way back when was really talking about something, was really spitting knowledge into your brain and making you think about what was going on out there in the world. So for me, I jumped on board. I didn't become, militant or anything, like Public Enemy. Man, the dancers, man, those boys, they was militant, man. They was bad. But I tell you, man, I definitely, listen to the word, and it definitely sank into my head and into my brain and made me want to feel and think about everything that was going on out there. And I think that's why, I'm conscious now about, certain things. I'm thinking about, I'm watching the news. Like I say, back in the day when I went to jail, I always say, man, why didn't I watch the news? This kind of stuff happening all the time.
Well, you know what I mean. You're watching the news. You were listening to Rand Travis. Like you're exposed to some things, right? But
Travis,
our guest is here. If you
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we told you guys we're gonna have a very, very special guest here today. So let's bring her inside the Hall of Fame. Chelsea Mean Machine Green. Boom.
Hello. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Hey, what's going on, Chelsea? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. I'm just enjoying my 90 days off.
Hey, man, how you like that name I gave you right there, Chelsea the Mean Machine Green?
I love it. I think it's perfect for me. Very suiting.
Yeah, man. We're just talking about the Green Machine. It's just to be like this 3-wheeler that I used to ride when I was a kid, and I was like, man, it's perfect, fitting for the name Chelsea Mean Machine Green. Hey, I like it. You know what I mean? If you want to take it on the road, ain't gonna charge you nothing for that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna add on to it. We're gonna call me the Lean Mean Green Machine.
Hey, I like it. Yeah. Mean, because Mean Machine, Green Mean Machine might be taken. You never know.
Oh, tell me about it. Trademarked. We don't,
We're gonna talk about that. But no. First and foremost, how you been? I mean, I know you got the 90 days, but where you at mentally?
Well, honestly, I thought I was gonna be upset. I thought I was gonna be really down and out if this day came, but I also didn't expect this day to come so soon. So it caught me by surprise and in almost a positive way. I just kind of hit the ground running, and I've been working harder than ever, I guess, ever since I was released, which it shouldn't take being fired to work hard, but I really was in a place of kind of complacency, and it like kicked my butt into gear.
Yeah, working hard. That's the part. The question I want to ask you about. Complacency. Do you think you got complacent as far as putting the work in? Thinking about concepts and philosophies as far as the work goes. I'm just wondering what do you think you maybe fell off for them to actually release you?
Well, I definitely don't think I became complacent in that sense because I did show up all the time when I wasn't booked and I continuously pitched. I mean, probably that could have been my downfall, just nonstop bombarding everyone with emails and pitches and things. My head, that's just the way my head works. My head doesn't work necessarily in a way that's great for actually in-ring wrestling. My head works creatively. And so I love coming up with new ideas, new characters, new storylines. And that's what I always did and pushed for was some sort of character that was different. But it's really hard to say like why I think I was released. I keep thinking about it and I keep wondering, and I would love an answer to come, but I also hope that maybe there is no answer. And it really is just the fact that, I never really got on TV. I never really got to show why SmackDown needed me. And so at this point, it was like, you know what? Let's just release her. Let's see what she can do somewhere else, which I'm also okay with. And I'm okay proving myself and then, possibly coming back.
Yeah, at any point did you have a moment where you like thought about this wrestling thing?
What do you mean?
Like after getting released, man, is this something I really want to put myself through?
Yeah, I definitely did. I thought I felt kind of beat up after the past 2 years because, like I said, I had pitched so many things and I knew that there were people that knew what I could do. You've seen what I can do on Lucha Underground and on Impact. So I know that they know that I have something in me that can be good for TV, but I just didn't get to show it. So when I got released, I was like, dang, like, why do I want to keep putting myself out there and put myself on this, on this grand stage to kind of be torn apart? And then I was like, well, wait, it's because I love doing it. And that's why we all do it. And we all go through these kind of like crappy times, and it makes the good times and the times you win titles and times you have awesome feuds so worth it. And I just have to remind myself of that.
Yeah, I always, I agree. I totally agree. The journey is so important and so precious. A lot of people from the outside looking in, they really just don't understand the journey of being on the road, the camaraderies, the places you go, the things that you see. It's just so amazing, especially for me being a kid from the neighborhood. So definitely understand that side. As far as putting it all back together again, and getting on that track that you want to be on. What's the roadmap?
Oh man, well, okay, so I've had some time to think about this, and at first I was kind of like, what am I going to do? What's the right thing to do? Because there is no right thing and there's so many options right now. And then I thought, you know what? I really want to emulate the next, say, 6 months after what Cody Rhodes did. I thought that was really great for his career. And what he did and what I would like to do is be a free agent and try to be the hottest free agent I can be. So, maybe I don't sign anywhere until 2022 and I just spend the rest of 2021 checking off bucket list matches that I have and trying to go to the top companies. I definitely want to go and see everybody at Impact and go back there. And I've never worked for Ring of Honor. I would love to go there. I've already made connections at AAA in Mexico and in Japan and Stardom. And of course, AEW is huge, and I was on their first show, All In. So all those things, I kind of want to hop around and I want to show my face everywhere and just decide later on what the right move is. Because right now I'm just so focused on I need to get back in the ring. I need to get my cardio up. I need to, work all new people and try new things and focus on my podcast as well. There's just so much to do. So I don't know that I want to lock myself down.
That's you answered the question actually, and that's what I was talking about as far as how do you see yourself, rebuilding the package. I know my partner Brad, he's got a lot of questions. We got to take a quick break, so don't go nowhere, guys. Stick around. We will be back inside the Hall of Fame. Back in a minute.
Ryan, I know you're actually one of the most underrated talents that's ever been inside a reality wrestling ring, but you're not the talent. Me beating you, becoming the greatest reality wrestling champion, it's not personal, it's inevitable.
Ryan King! Number 1, 2! He did it! Dreams do come true!
This is the bounty of all bounties. Are you ready to cowboy up?
Brian Keith, after all these years, cashing in and becoming the new reality of wrestling heavyweight champion. It was an awesome night. But this business, guys, has always been built on rematches.
You want your rematch? I'm a fighting champion.
You don't work hard like I do. You don't want this like I do. What do you want? Family? I'll bring your snot-nosed kids, your wife, your old ass.
I just want to let both of you guys know something. This match will be held inside the steel cage.
Lives get changed inside that match. Inside that structure, no one comes out the same.
Will history repeat itself? Will lightning strike twice?
Brian Keith is 15 feet in the air. Brian Keith from up top. Unbelievable cover. So great.
And Ryan Davidson, I'm here to answer the call.
You get mauled.
Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Here with Chelsea, Lean Mean Machine Green.
I love it.
You're gonna get it over, aren't you, Book?
Just chopping it up, man. But no, man, I like the roadmap as far as getting back into this thing, and the Cody Rhodes concept is something that's really, really cool. And a blueprint you could actually build off of, because I thought it was really cool. Cody, going to Japan. I saw Cody at house independent shows. I saw him like everywhere.
Everywhere.
And every time I saw him, no matter if it was like the smallest independent show, he still had a suit on. So he was still representing.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I'm serious. So there again, to be able to go to Japan and work over there and create that name for yourself, that's old school. That's truly old school. And me personally, I would love to get you, down in my gym, just so I could give you, just some pointers.
I love that.
And get in your head from a perspective to whereas I'm sure no one else has never, been. And in reality of wrestling, I always concentrate on the small things, the little bitty things, and for yourself. You got the package. You got everything. One would want from a professional wrestler. I'm serious about that. But to work at the elite level, sometimes people don't understand. When I'm trying to help them. And so trust me. No, I'm serious. Trust me. I'm only trying to help you. Sometimes people don't understand the little bitty nuances you have to work at that top level to make people not just see you. It's easy to see you, but to feel a certain way when they see you, not just in the ring, but when you walk out of that curtain. You know what I mean? It's a reason why, stars, such as the level of Michael Jackson or Beyonce, when they just walk into a crowd, people start crying.
Yeah.
Crying tears, you know what I mean? When somebody have to take away, like they're in a Baptist church. Good God. You know what I mean? It's almost like that. So, no, I would love to network with you from that perspective and help you from that side. Brad, go ahead, man. I know you, like they always say at the WWE commentary booth, chomping at the bit. Go right ahead, man.
Well, you know what? We might as well though pick up where you just said, Book. Chelsea, the first time I saw you in the professional wrestling realm was back in, I think it was 2014 or 15 when you did Tough Enough, right? Tough Enough, and along with this man right here, Booker T. What was that experience like? And talk to me about Booker as a coach, because I've seen it up close and personal. But what do you remember from that experience?
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy because it feels like yesterday and it feels like 100 years ago all at the same time. And so I do kind of like, I remember everything that happened and all the feelings I had, but I definitely went into it with the wrong perspective. I went into it like, I'm the only wrestler and I'm gonna get this job. And I didn't think of it as a reality TV show, which is what it was. And they wanted characters. And I was not a character. I was Chelsea, the wrestler who wants this so bad. And we already had that with Sarah as the underdog of Tough Enough, the Sarah who won. So coming in late was rough, and kind of having that mindset, looking back now, it's like, oh man, like I could have done things so much different. But what I loved and what I think that I really was able to respect and take in was the fact that we had people like Booker and like Lita and Billy Gunn as our coaches. I mean, not many people can say that they have been in the ring with Lita. And I can say that because I was the only female there that was able to do that with her. And, not many people have been yelled at by Billy Gunn and Booker. And I can say I was. So it's just like really cool to be able to, as a wrestler, build those relationships too. When I left Tough Enough, I really felt like everyone, including Booker, had my back, knew that I did want to do this and I was going to continue. And so all the steps I took to get to WWE, they were able to kind of watch that, which is really cool, and see that, I came in saying I wanted to be a wrestler and I just continued to do that, and I will continue to do that.
Awesome. The podcast. Let's talk about the podcast. I know I was reading you had some problems with the name. You cease it. Stop it right now.
Man.
I understand that, but is talking, creating stories through the podcast. Is that something you always want to do? Is it something that you just, say, hey man, I got some time on my hands.
Let's just talk. No, I honestly, everyone knows me. I do not know when to shut up. And that has gotten me in a lot of trouble. Like, I really realized how much I talk when I was at NXT, and I would just talk. And then I didn't realize why people were pissed off at me or that I was talking too much. And then, and now looking back, I realized I always wanted to do broadcast journalism and be some sort of host, and podcasting just wasn't a thing when I wanted to be a host. So now it's like all these worlds are colliding. So when I was released, I'm like, well, why wouldn't I be a podcaster? I'm going to be the host of my own show. I can tell people all the stories that I already talk about with all my girlfriends or, everyone in NXT or whoever it is. Like, I have so much to talk about. I feel like all wrestlers do. We love talking about ourselves. And I just have so many things to talk about and so many self-deprecating stories that I want people to learn a little bit more about me. And if that's the best way to get it out there, Instagram is a lie. Like, just because I post pictures in bikinis, that's like not at all what I'm like in real life. What I'm like in real life is no makeup, hair on the top of my head, and embarrassing myself. And I want people to see that side of me.
Just tell it like it is Instagram money. It's about that paper, baby.
It is. It really is. It's not real life. I try to tell people that, but then I keep posting bikini pictures. So I'm lying too.
Hey man, follow the Paige Van Zant motto. I'm serious, man.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious. That's what it's all about. But nah, man, the podcast is one thing. Being able to do that and talk about stories is definitely something that we do here on the show all the time. Is it going to just be wrestling story related, or is it going to be outside interests, whatnot? Give me the gist on what kind of podcast actually we're going to have here.
So at first it was called 50 Shades of Green because I wanted it to be like all the sides of me. So I wanted it to be a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of pop culture, a little bit of my relationship, a little bit of like what I've been through. And because I do think that I have an interesting story beyond wrestling of the things that I've experienced before wrestling. I've traveled the world and lived on my own in many countries. And so I want people to see that side of me. So it's really going to be a little bit of everything. And I have in my head and on the computer a format, but I really think that every single episode, you're going to get something completely different. No matter what, you are going to get embarrassing stories. And I'm not going to have any guests on. It's just going to be me. So every now and then I will have guests, but right now I'm really just trying to focus on my speaking skills. And I really think that the only way I can do that is just every single week, sitting down in front of my computer with my podcast equipment and speaking. And I have noticed every week it's gotten a little better and a little better. It's just like practicing a wrestling promo. You can only get better if you continue to practice. So eventually I'll have some guests on, but right now I'm having a lot of fun just telling stories about my life and my girlfriends and the craziness that we've experienced.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right.
Chelsea, you mentioned you wanted to follow that Cody Rhodes model, and one of the things that's now iconic in wrestling lore was the list that Cody put out of the people that he wanted to work. Who would be on that list for you? If the top 5, and I'm not saying right now, I'm talking all time, who are those top 5 names that you would have loved to lock horns with in the center of the ring?
Man, okay, well I'll give you my top 5 right now, and then I'll think about, because my top 5 right now, I've been thinking about this obviously over and over again. But I mean, one of my top girls that I just think is so underrated and people don't know about her is Kellyanne. She just signed with Ring of Honor. She's an Australian. She's so freaking good. And people just don't know her yet, unfortunately, because she's stuck in Australia. So she's one person at Ring of Honor. I would obviously like to work one of my best friends, Deonna Purrazzo at Impact. Along with that, I would love Jordan Grace at Impact. And then if we move over to AEW, I would love to work Sheeta. And of course, another one of my best friends is Britt Baker. So it would be insane if I didn't say Britt as well. So those are my top 5 for right now, currently, that I could work. But I mean, being a Canadian girl, the person I've always wanted to work, or the match I guess I've always wanted to have, would be a triple threat, myself, Natalia, and Trish, somewhere in Canada. I just love a hometown pop, and I just have never really felt that because I've been in America wrestling for so long. I haven't got to go back and experience that yet. So for it to be all Canadian girls would be like my dream.
You know what that's called, huh, Brad?
What's that?
It's called getting the rub.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can get in with Trish. I'm made. I'm made. I'm good. I know what that's all about. It's cool. Awesome. You got the podcast. You got anything else you want to plug, man? Before we let you get up out of here, definitely. I know you got something.
I mean, I just want everyone to kind of keep watching what I'm doing, because I really think I'm going to surprise you guys at the places I end up at. And I wish I could tell you all the bookings that I've made, but I know I can't, and I have to surprise everyone. But I'm just so excited for what's to come. And I want everyone to just pay attention, because I'm going to pop up in places that you least expect it and do that, the old school mentality. So you never know. I mean, I could be in Japan July 14th. Who knows?
Awesome. All right, then, guys, give it up for, Chelsea, Lean, Mean Machine, Green.
Don't get another cease and desist here, Book. Come on now.
Thank you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame and giving us some time. And boom, we'll be on the lookout for everything that you're doing.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Right. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
And your question for the win. In The Insider, Al Pacino's character works on which TV show?
Is it 60 Minutes?
And your winner!
The Movie Trivia Showdown, the most competitive movie trivia league in the world.
It's MMA or boxing. It's you want to see the two best scrapping it out.
Vincent D'Onofrio. 2 points. Movie release date.
Wow. Danny DeVito.
That's correct.
You mother! Rising sun! And your winner!
Championships, factions, the best in the world play here.
I'm ready to schmo down. Throw down with the schmo down.
Kevin Goodenough Smith!
This is why we play the Schmodown.
The professional sports league of movie trivia. This isn't bar trivia. This is the Movie Trivia Schmodown.
Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed Chelsea Lean Mean Machine Green. She definitely seemed to have a plan as far as, where do I go from here? I like that.
She wasn't like Macho, right? My plan is no plan.
I dig it. She seemed to, have a blueprint there using the Cody Rhodes guideline. I think that's a pretty cool thought process as far as, how do I go about, making myself, reinventing myself. Because I think Cody Rhodes did a good job reinventing himself.
He did a great job. He made it happen.
I think he really did a really good job. But sometimes you got to put yourself on a pedestal,
right?
You got to treat yourself, to champagne and caviar. You got to do that. I'm serious. And make yourself feel good sometimes. That's just the way it is. I don't know if you guys like champagne and caviar. Me, I don't like that as one of them, but it sounds good. You know what I mean? It sounds.
You don't like caviar?
I'm not a big caviar guy. I've had it before, but I'm not. It's not. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I know what it is.
When you know what something is. Like he's spam. You know what I mean? You don't want to eat it. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I think that's just the way life is.
That's true. That's true.
That's the way life is.
Well, I'm rooting for Chelsea. Again, she's all energy. She's energy personified, right? And I think that the attitude that's what you need. That's that's 100% of the game, really, right? If you have the right attitude, you can make things happen, and you got talent. So hopefully, we see our reality wrestling. I'd like that.
Man, like I said, I would love to get in Chelsea's head. Because I remember I was talking to Chelsea, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, and it was at one of the shows. I saw her backstage, and I told her that I had highlighted her on my Zoom class in a match with Charlotte Flair, and that's what I was talking about. I was talking about how Charlotte looked like the professional in that match. And Chelsea, not that she did anything wrong, but like having happy feet, moving a little bit too much, throwing a punch, selling a little bit too much, that kind of stuff. You could tell that Chelsea was, needing a little bit of work in certain areas. And sometimes you only have to be told. I was at my school last night, and one of the guys, he was a headlock shoot off from the ropes. He just did not look right, shooting a guy off the ropes, to the opposite rope. He just did not look right. So I say, hey man, shoot him from the middle and take the tackle instead of from. And it's that type of little bitty stuff to be able to get in someone's head to make them think and feel a lot better about what they're doing in the ring. And then all of a sudden a light bulb goes off and you go, oh man, I understand. So I think that's what I mean. I would love to work with Chelsea on those small little details, the little things that make the car run.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up. I can't recall the two guys who were in your office at the time, but it was one of the reality wrestling shows, and we were trying to figure out this problem in one of the finishes, right? Trying to figure out exactly, what we were supposed to do. And without giving too much away, I just remember, it was like 30 seconds to a minute of silence and everybody just trying to figure it out. And then you go, what if you reversed it? And everyone was like, oh yeah, that's what he should do. You should reverse it. And it was just like one of these obvious, small, little, insignificant things that literally made the whole match come alive. And and that's kind of what you were saying the game's all about. It's the small things. It's the movements in between.
Yeah, it's what you do before and what you do after. That's what one of the things we teach. So guys, if you want some expert tutelage, come on down to reality.
You know where to go.
We talking
about one place. We
talking about Chelsea Green, but we talking about all of y'all. You know what I mean? That want a piece of the action, that want, a little bit of champagne wishes and a little bit of caviar dreams. Come on down to Reality of Wrestling and jump in the ring and let me work on you. Let me tune you up, get you to where you want to get. And right now, like I say, we got a lot of guys down there that's getting ready to spread their wings, and two of them are the Dongo Brothers.
Oh man, I know the Dongo next Harlem Heat. Next Harlem Heat.
Harlem Heat.
Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of female wrestlers, right? I wanted to get your take on this because we haven't talked about it. We actually I take that back. We talked about the rumor months and months ago. It feels like, but it is official. We are seeing the vignettes on Raw. Eva Marie.
Yeah, baby.
I like your reaction. On her way back to Raw, what are your thoughts about seeing Eva Marie back in the WWE? Finally.
I don't know if I should be excited. I don't know if I should be, is this one of those highly anticipated, in-ring debuts, re-debuts, let's say that. Then again, I don't recall ever seeing an Eva Marie match.
Well, you know what's funny? It's funny that you mentioned that because before she left, that was the gimmick, right? She wasn't wrestling.
She was supposed to be. She was actually something would happen right before.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think she ever got that big moment on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or anything like that because the gimmick was. It was almost like Fandango. Remember when Fandango would come out and it's like, not this week, next week. And it was something like that.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Have we ever seen Eva Marie work?
Yes. Yeah, she did some tag stuff, I know. And then she was in NXT for a period of time.
How did she look? I mean, can you
Well, I will say I'll say this. It was one of those progressively getting better things, right? I mean, she came in.
Wait a minute. How many times did you see her work?
A handful in NXT.
So how can you get better in a handful of matches?
Well, I would like to think over 5 months you're better than you were, before. Look, she came in knowing nothing, right? She wasn't a wrestler prior.
I don't know.
No, I'm pretty confident about that. Obviously, she's athletic. She's
I don't know about
out
that
all
either.
the time.
I don't know about that either. We've never seen her do anything. I mean, to have a nice body doesn't mean you're athletic.
Well, she's. I mean, I guess you're right. She works out. That's a big thing.
A lot of people work out.
You need cardio. You need endurance. You need all of that. But I'm asking. Look, you still haven't answered the question.
No, okay, my bad. I
You
ain't
haven't answered the question. What do you feel about Eva Marie? You're like, I don't know. When's the last time she worked?
Sorry about the interrogation. All right, let's just say
dang.
Sorry about the interrogation. Okay.
Do you want me to tell you her shoe size and blood type and country of origin? We're not in customs here. She's not trying to bring in some tequila from Mexico.
Okay.
Jesus.
My thing is, I like seeing Eva Marie back.
Yeah.
Okay? She still looks great. She's definitely easy on the eyes.
Absolutely.
I know Corey Graves almost lost his damn mind. So he must have been a fan from back in the day or something. You never know. But I'm just curious as far as, what is she going to do in the women's division when we got such a strong presence in the women division representing the women, from a wrestling perspective. Of course, she's going to bring, some eyes to the show, especially from that era of fans that was, watching, the
Total Divas.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to bring some eyes, but like I say, it just makes me wonder, what is she going to look like in the ring with Bianca Belair? What is she going to look like in the ring with Charlotte Flair, Asuka? What is she going to look in the ring, with the top, females, in the company? That's what I'm wondering more than anything. But, are we bringing her back for that? That's the question more than anything. What are we bringing Eva Marie back for? I think that's the question. I think Brad got froze right there for a second. And there we are. He's back.
There we are.
Yeah.
I think it's a good question.
Like I said, the question is, what are we bringing? Why is Eva Marie back? You know, like I said, when we got such a strong presence, you know, women representing the wrestling side in the business today, you know, what's gonna be her role? What role is she gonna play? You know, in this second run for Eva Marie? I think that's the question.
It's a good question. I think that we're going to find out, you know, as time goes on. Obviously, she has she's built her brand up outside of the WWE. I know she's been acting, she's been in movies, she's been on television shows. I saw her. She hosted something with Shaquille O'Neal at one point, or Snoop Dogg, one of those guys. So I mean, she's been building her brand outside of the WWE, and obviously she's going to bring, like you said, eyes to the product.
Go ahead and read that super chat, man. Go ahead and read it, man. You got to read.
We have a super chat?
Yeah, we got a super chat.
Oh, I see it. Jamal Bryant for the $5. Please just be honest. She was terrible in NXT. That's cold. That's cold.
The thing is, I never saw it. You know what? I can't. And look here, I'm being honest, 100%. 100%. I never saw her in NXT. I never saw her, so I can't say if she was good or bad. But I do know
she progressively got better.
No, it's a lot of eyes on Eva. Let's just say that. Stick around. I like that. You know what? We might have to use that. Eyes on Eva. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame.
And here we go. Oh, the rules are simple. There are very few. Oh, my God! No, winding up here. Oh, maximum velocity. Barto goes for a ride, and that is not a soft landing. I can assure you of that. Official can do absolutely nothing about it. Even Max Humberto is disturbed by his own actions. Wait a minute. Oh, no. God in heaven! God in heaven! Put a stop to this!
And Max Humberto is the new Reality Wrestling Texas champion.
Shook. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I see everybody like that Eva talk, man. Everybody, you know, good or bad. Good or bad. What's that?
That might be why she's coming back. She causes conversation.
No, man, like I say, good or bad, you know, whether you like Eva Marie or don't like her, you definitely want to see her. And I'm going to tell you, man, what was she on, a Ferrari or something like that?
I think it's a Ferrari, yeah.
Oh, man, I mean, I tell you, man, it looks sweet. The vignette looks sweet. I must say.
It was nice. It was, I will say this, it was a throwback.
Looks good.
She looks great. She looks great.
She looks great. I must say that. She
looks great.
She looks good. She's good looking.
She looks good.
Yeah.
She looks good. But I will say the vignette was a bit of a throwback, right? Like it felt like, again, the WWE of old a little bit, you know, beautiful woman, you know.
You know what, man? I always thought those kind of vignettes, why they went away, I don't know. You know, it wasn't broke.
You're talking about vignettes in general?
Vignettes when somebody's coming in.
I agree.
When you know we got somebody new or somebody old that repackaging, to be able to do those vignettes, to know that they're going to be here in 2 weeks. Just like just say for instance, Chris Jericho's countdown. You know, it was awesome. You know, you wondered who it was. You couldn't wait to see who it was, and then bang! It was the most iconic intros, I think, perhaps in the history of the business. I mean, it really was.
I think it's the best debut ever.
No, I mean, I think it really was, just because the Y2K bug, you know, wondering if the world is going to crash. You know what I mean? And boom, Y2J is here to save the world. Pretty much.
So
you know?
good.
It was unbelievable. So I tell you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If we can go back to, doing that, if I can get some big enough stars, that perhaps, in Japan or something, new kids that I could do a vignette like that on Coming to Reality Wrestling, I'm going to do it, just to create a buzz. Yeah.
So someone does make a great point, though. Sometimes it can go wrong because someone in the chat mentioned the Brodus Clay vignettes. I don't know if you remember the Brodus Clay vignettes, but everyone thought, oh, man, this is the next big monster. This guy's going to come in. He's going to tear it up. right?
You can't blame the vignette for that. He was supposed to be the next big monster.
It was a bit of a swerve though, because he came in, then he was the Funkasaurus.
No, but he didn't come in as the Funkasaurus.
Right.
Brodus Clay came in as a monster. He was supposed to have been a guy that was supposed to have been a killer. But I tell you, it's hard to actually be able to live up to that role when you got guys like Kane, you got The Undertaker, you got a bunch of other Mark Henry, big guys like that.
Show was still running at that time.
You know, so it was hard for him to be a monster when you had other monsters. Now, if Brodus Clay would have went out and became the gimmick and was a real badass, and people thought that he could really, you know, brutalize a person, a human being, he probably could have played that role. But I just don't think Brodus Clay ever got to the point to where when he was walking out of the curtain, you know, he struck fear in your heart. He made you go, oh, man, this guy here is finna, you know, he's finna do something, you know. I just didn't see that in Brodus Clay, not taking anything away from him. And then my thing also, when he became Brodus Clay with the Funkadactyls, hell, if he would have played that gimmick right, he'll still be with the company.
It's like the honky tonk man, right? Like it's just you could get over forever with that thing. The Funkadactyls and the music. Somebody call my mama.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I had the Funkadactyls and that gimmick, I'd have worked in WWE for 40 years.
One bump max, but you would have been working making those towns.
All you had to do was, I remember talking to Brodus Clay, and I don't know if he will admit this or not, but I say, man, the dancing is your ticket. You know, I know, guys don't want to dance and stuff. I mean, you come to me and tell me to dance, I'm gonna say, man, go to hell.
Man, go to hell.
That's probably what he wanted to say to me at the time. But I said, man, even if the dancing is as stupid as you possibly can make it, I say that's the ticket, and I just do not think Brodus Clay could ever fall in love with that character and doing that gimmick. That's why it never worked as well. But, it's here nor there. Here nor there.
Well, I will say AIM661 says WWE definitely has my attention now. I watched that vignette easily over 5 times, referring to Eva Marie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey, you know what? If it works,
it
works.
On YouTube.
Number one. Make sure you delete your browser history, my guy. We do have a pay-per-view though coming up this weekend. Wrestlemania Backlash.
I thought you were talking about UFC 262, but go ahead.
Or we could do what do you want to do first? 262 or Backlash?
No, we can talk. We on wrestling. We might as well stick with it. Go ahead.
All right. I mean, we'll finish out this segment just talking about WrestleMania Backlash. 6 announced matches according to the old Wikipedia. Just kind of want to get your overall view on a couple of them. One of them, I think, we're going to see history being made.
Cesaro.
No. I want to get to that, but I do think we're going to see history being made. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio challenging for the tag titles against Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Never been a father and son tag team win the titles in WWE. I think this is the moment. Pull the trigger, right?
Hey, man, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it now.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time for it. Rey Mysterio is at that stage in his career to where, we don't know how many years left he's, going to be still doing this. Like I say, overnight, your body can tell you it's time to shut it down. And he's running to, his tread is like this right now. But he's going to run as long as he possibly can. And then to be able to cap it off, can you imagine, being tag team champions with your son? That's got to be an amazing feeling for the son and the dad. It's got to be an overwhelming feeling, being able to do something like that, knowing that that's going to be written in the history books throughout the history and the annals of time in professional wrestling. Yeah, man, do it now. Like the guy said on the movie, I do it for you.
Like the guy said in the movie, how descriptive.
Well, William,
I know who you're talking about. It's William Dafoe.
William Dafoe. That's what it was. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
I
What do we feel about? You mentioned it. Roman Reigns, Cesaro. Cesaro's, I think it's his first title shot ever in his career, and it's on pay-per-view against the top guy in the company, Roman Reigns.
As big of an underdog as someone like Daniel Bryan has been going in to matches with, one like Roman Reigns, I think Cesaro is a bigger underdog going into this match with Roman Reigns. And for him to pull it off would be literally one of the biggest upsets that we've had in wrestling in quite some time. It would be like a Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson-like type win, from a boxing standpoint. And I can really see the fans eating it up because he is the guy he's not the chosen one. He's not the guy that, let's put the rocket on him and send him straight to the moon. He's not that guy, but the fans have always 100% supported Cesaro. And you know why? It's because the guy come out and bust his ass every week, week in, week out, day in, day out, year after year. That's all he does is come out and perform. And you can only want to see a guy like that at the end of the day win. You want the good guy to win. And that's the way I see that match.
Yeah, man. I agree. I agree with you about Cesaro. Everything you said. Remember it was like, what was it, 5 years ago maybe? He had all those fans would bring the signs for the Cesaro section. And it wasn't because he was doing anything particularly meaningful at the time, at least not in this capacity in the singles. But like you said, we knew that he was dependable. We wanted to root for Cesaro no matter what. I love that he's in this position. Now, do you pull the trigger on him? Roman Reigns is just running so hot right now. I think it's bad timing to take the title
I don't
off.
think it's bad timing because
do.
wrestling, he could win it back, in a month from now.
But he hadn't lost in like a year.
He could win it back at a house show. You know what I mean? He can win it anyway.
What house shows? We're in a pandemic, book. There are no house shows.
A mocked house show. You never know.
A mocked house show in front of the Thunderdome? That's got to be a terrible idea if I've ever heard one.
No, man, but I'm just saying, I could actually see Cesaro winning, the fans loving it. We could always, pull the trigger and get Roman Reigns back in that position. But for Cesaro to have that moment, WrestleMania Backlash moment, this could be, I think it could be the best thing for, I talk about the UFC and they're always looking for a country. That's Cesaro. Cesaro win the belt. I was just reading here. Somebody said if WWE want, who was that? Mookie
press. I saw it.
Said if Cesaro needs to win the belt, if WWE wants press, that's press. That's news. That's news around the world. If Cesaro win the title over Roman Reigns, if Roman wins, it's just another win. So I could definitely see something like that happening. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Bad blood between these two.
Welcome back, guys. About to wrap this thing up. We still got a few minutes here for you. I want to thank everybody for sticking out with us for this last 2 hours, man. And definitely want to thank Chelsea Lean Mean Machine Green for stepping inside the Hall of Fame here today, giving us some insight as far as what's next for Chelsea. I'm looking forward to it. But let's keep it rolling, man. You got anything else you want to talk about as far as WrestleMania Backlash?
One more match, and then we can get to UFC 262 going down from Houston, Texas. Last one I want to talk about: Bobby, Drew, Braun. Title on the line. A lot of people were surprised that Bobby retained that championship at WrestleMania. I thought it was the right call. Will Bobby be successful again at WrestleMania Backlash? Now, triple threat match.
Yeah, I think he will. I think Bobby, and me, I'm not good at predicting wrestling matches at all. I'm not. I don't have a good track record at all as far as calling wrestling matches, but I just feel like this is a match that Bobby Lashley should walk out of, it being a triple threat to actually add icing on the cake for Bobby Lashley's reign. And I say that because I found myself in this kind of like same position once upon a time in my career, and everybody was wondering, man, Booker T it's no way Booker's going to win this match. And it was the champion of champions match versus John Cena and the Big Show, all champions. ECW, SmackDown, Raw. And lo and behold, King Booker, he walks away.
Champion of champions.
With the big victory, the champion of champions. No one thought I was going to win that match. And you got Bobby in somewhat of the same predicament, with two guys were, it's easily, you could see Braun Strowman or Drew McIntyre winning. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the King Booker effect and bet on Bobby Lashley to walk in as champion and then again walk out as champion.
I think that Bobby's got to keep it through SummerSlam. I'm hearing rumors on the internet that they're thinking about bringing crowds back around that time in August, SummerSlam time. Man, I'm just telling you, can you imagine the first show back with a full stadium, after WrestleMania being SummerSlam, and you make the main event Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar? Oh my gosh, you got the
I tell
money.
you, I can't imagine. I can imagine it. You know what I mean? I got a chance to. I was watching that Usman Masvidal fight today on YouTube, and somebody had filmed it from up in the crowd. I don't know. They must have had one of these iPhone 11s or something, because it was really
crystal clear.
It was crystal clear, and that place was jam packed. That knockout, it seemed everything just erupted. It was like a volcano, right. And it was beautiful actually to see, so many people congregating in that fashion, but still scary a little bit at the same time. But it was exciting to see that. So I can't wait to get fans back in, in WWE on a regular basis. And I'm sure they're ready, man. I'm sure they definitely can't wait to get back out there. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
Well, let's talk about it, though. You brought up UFC 262 coming from our hometown of H-Town, Texas. We have title fights. We got all kinds of stuff. Which one are you looking most forward to? Are you like?
It's going to be a card that mainly going to be pretty much waiting around for the co-main and the main event.
Sure.
Of course, Edson Barbosa fight on the card, but he's going to be well down the card. You wonder what a guy like Edson Barbosa still have left in the tank. As great of a fighter as Edson Barbosa once was, he's nowhere near fighting at that level. Okay, he's there. Co-main event, Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush. That fight right there, that's going to be a test. It's going to be a really, really good test for Tony Ferguson. We definitely don't know where Tony Ferguson is after his last two fights.
No.
Okay. This guy is, he's approaching the look of being a shell of his former self. I could be wrong. Was it a fluke, these last two fights? I don't think so. I think he just got thoroughly beaten up. So we're going to find out what Tony Ferguson still have left in the tank, because Dariush, he's not the greatest fighter in the world, but he's young, he's hungry, and he's damn good. Okay, so we're going to find out if Tony Ferguson is still a UFC fighter, or will Tony Ferguson be getting cut if he lose this fight? If he lose it big, I see no other options.
I agree,
Ferguson, if he lose this fight.
I agree. I mean, at one point you kind of thought that he had that air of invincibility about him. That was a guy, and I talked about it for several years on this show, and I'm confident that I would have been incorrect. I thought forever Tony Ferguson was going to be the guy to take out Khabib and be the guy that finally beat the unbeatable. And then you saw him have that opportunity against Justin Gaethje. If he would have won that fight, we would have seen the Khabib fight. And you know what? It didn't happen for him. It didn't happen for him. And we saw Justin Gaethje systematically tear a man apart. And what was so hard to watch about that fight is you saw a beaten down man. Tony Ferguson was beaten after round one. I mean, he was cut open, bleeding everywhere. And he kept coming forward. And part of me respected it, and the other part, I wanted to look away from that fight. I'm like, come on, my man, live to fight another day. Where's your corner, right?
Yeah.
Where's your corner? Where's your Mark Breland for Deontay Wilder? Where's your corner at this point to let you get into that? And then we've seen him progressively just kind of go down after that Gaethje fight. If he has a similar performance to this, sign, seal, and deliver, stick a fork in him, my man. Tony Ferguson in the UFC, I don't see a path moving forward to a title, especially if he loses here. And as Tony Ferguson, I understand. You got to feed the family. You got to put food on the table. You got to earn. You got to be a provider. But at what cost? At what cost?
Yeah. Main event, Charles Oliveira versus, the new kid on the block, Michael Chandler. How do you think that fight's going to play out?
Chandler looks so great. He looks so great in that short time that we got to see him in his UFC debut. We know the guy is championship quality because he was a champion in another organization. Charles Oliveira, the rightful number one contender for this championship. It's going to be the first time that we see a new champion since the runs of guys like Conor McGregor and Khabib, which has been a nice little run several years since we've seen a lightweight champion. The last guy not named McGregor or Nurmagomedov to hold that title officially was Eddie Alvarez. So that's really going deep back 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, but I could say if Michael Chandler even looks 75% what he did in his last fight, this could be a great night for him. I can't pick this one. It's hard for me. Who do you got?
I like Michael Chandler.
I do too.
He's a tough customer. We definitely watched him pretty much dismantle Dan Hooker, but like we said before, that was a different Dan Hooker that we've seen in the past. I'm really not sure what happened in that fight, but he definitely showed that he come to fight. But if I got to pick somebody, Charles Oliveira, I've watched this guy grow in the UFC from a boy to a man, and his game is definitely tight. He's definitely well-rounded. He's not just a one-dimensional fighter or anything like that. And if I had to pick somebody, especially if you get to the ground, I'm going to go Charles Oliveira. If it's a knockout, I see Michael Chandler winning, but I'm going to go with Charles Oliveira for that fight. That's just the way I see it. Then again, you know me, I could be wrong. I always put that in there just to let everybody know. I could be wrong. That's another story.
I gotta steal that. I really do. I have to figure out how I can steal that. I gotta be wrong is the best way to get out of being wrong. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. Hey, before we get out of here, man, fight went down on fight night just this past week. Cowboy Cerrone versus Moreno, Alex Moreno. Cowboy got waxed. He got waxed. You think that's the end of Cowboys' run? He talked a good game, man. He said, man, those leg kicks, they're going to be coming hard, man. My jiu-jitsu is going to be looking real good. If I get him down the ground, he's going to get tapped out, man. It's going to be hard. He sounded like he was going to really do something. You think that's the end for the Cowboy?
I mean, how many times is Dana White going to have this conversation? Right? He said, I need to have a conversation. I need to have a conversation. I need to have a conversation. Dana, it's time to have that conversation. I think Cowboy's done. Unfortunately, great run though.
Wrap him up.
Great run.
He had a hell of a run. Most wins in the UFC, most knockouts or something like that in the UFC. Most fights in a year, perhaps in a couple of months in the UFC. He got more records than anybody in the UFC. Let's just put it like that.
That's true.
He's done a hell of a job for himself, and he got that ranch out there too. So. Big ups. Want to thank all you guys for hanging out with us today. We're going to be back next week. Same place, same time. Check me out at Wrestlemania Backlash this weekend. I will be doing my thing. Appreciate you, Bradley, as always. But right now, I got to go down here and eat some of these chicken wings my wife cooked up. We out of here.